Good, Ricky muttered, turning away from them. He walked slowly back toward his trailer, his shoulders slumped, leaving the party behind. Fucking piece of shit, he yelled into the darkness. Julian watched him go, shaking his head. Jesus, she is wild. Oh, she is fucking great, Bubbles agreed dryly. From across the lot, Leahy and Randy watched the spectacular collapse of Ricky's engagement. Leahy took a long, slow drink from a hidden flask, a twisted smile forming on his lips. Oh, you fucking damn it. I will just bend over again, and you can fucking decide what you want to show me this time. Leahy muttered to himself, the liquor warming his blood, giving him back the arrogant confidence he had lost in jail. He turned to the DJ, waving his hand grandly. Let us get the party going again. Everybody is hot with somebody kicking their pussy. He looked down at his trusty flask, patting it affectionately. And what do you think, my sweet little goddess of liquor? You have no idea how much I missed you. He held it to his ear, pretending to listen. What is that? I totally agree. Randy looked at him nervously, the bag of cash feeling heavier than ever. Watch your pansy out, Mr. Leahy. You should never have accepted those terms. Giving up half of our wages is way more than 25 grand. It is frigging ridiculous. Leahy leaned in close to Randy, his breath smelling of cheap booze and wild ambition. You have just not seen it, my beautiful Ran. Thank you, man. Sit down. He pulled Randy onto a nearby picnic bench, his eyes gleaming with the light of a dangerous, intoxicated plan. Look, me and the liquor, we got it all figured out, bud. Going to take a long time for Julian to rack up $25,000 from our wages, right? Randy nodded slowly, struggling to follow the logic. So meanwhile, Leahy continued, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper, we can take the 25 that we were going to give that beautiful bastard, and we can double or triple it. We just treat it like play money. What are you talking about? Randy asked, alarm bells ringing in his head. How would we double or triple it? Horse track, baby, Leahy announced, his smile widening into a manic grin. We just sit back and we let the liquor choose our horses. They got a great canteen at the track. Have not changed the grease in years. Randy stared at him, realizing with absolute certainty that they were walking straight off a cliff. But as he looked at the wild, confident gleam in Leahy's eyes, he knew he would follow him right over the edge. Later that night, long after the disastrous party had ended, Julian sat alone at a picnic table near his trailer, counting the meager proceeds from the day. It had not been the massive payday he had hoped for, but it was a start. Well, as fucked as today was, Julian murmured to himself, organizing the bills. I actually did not do too fucking bad. I am surprised. Just means I gotta sell more beer tomorrow, I guess. That is not too bad. He looked up as Bubbles approached, carrying a cardboard tray of his freshly bottled India Pale Ale. Bubbles looked exhausted, the long day of brewing, delivering, and emotional trauma taking its toll. Hey, buddy, Julian called out, slipping his money into his pocket. Listen, man, can I borrow a few beer off you? I have got Skylar coming over. She does not drink rum. She wants fucking beer. Bubbles stopped, staring at Julian in disbelief. After everything that had happened, Julian was still trying to hustle free beer for a date. So that is my Skylar is my fucking problem now? Bubbles asked, his voice sharp with irritation. That is a nice, wholesome name, too, Julian, Bubbles added sarcastically. Where did you meet her? At the church rally. Julian frowned, his pride bristling. You got any fucking beer for me or what? Obviously I have beer, Bubbles sighed, setting the tray down on the table. All right, thank you. But the shit is not free to fucking make, It still costs money. There is 6. Julian reached for a bottle, his tone casual, oblivious to the rising tension. Chill out. I will get you the fuck back. Chill out, Bubbles repeated, his voice rising in pitch. The frustration of the entire summer, The endless cycle of scams and failures finally boiled over. Well, how long do you plan on fucking living like this? It is just a few fucking beer, man. Oh yeah, it is a few beer and then it is this. Before Julian could answer, the slow, heavy crunch of footsteps announced Ricky's arrival. He walked into the dim light of the overhead street lamp, looking utterly destroyed. His eyes were red, his clothes disheveled, and his shoulders slumped in utter defeat. He looked like a man who had lost everything because, in his mind, he had. "Hey, boys," Ricky said, his voice a hoarse, hollow rasp. He stopped near the table, staring at the ground. "I ran out of whiskey. Any chance you guys could lend me $20 for some booze? I need to get fucked out of my head, and I am only about a quarter of the way there right now." Julian looked at Ricky, a profound sadness washing over him. The anger he felt toward his friend earlier in the day had evaporated, replaced by deep pity. But he reached into his pocket and realized he did not have $20 to spare. Not if he wanted to survive the week. "Sorry, bud," Julian said softly, avoiding Ricky's eyes. "I got nothing, and I would get drunk with you tonight, but I gotta check him over, so." Ricky nodded slowly, absorbing the rejection without protest. "That is cool. I kinda wanna be by myself right now anyway." He turned slowly to Bubbles, a desperate plea in his eyes. "Bubs, can you help me out, please?" Bubbles stared at the two men standing before him, his oldest, dearest friends. One was begging for free beer for a meaningless date, the other was begging for money to drink himself into oblivion after ruining a massive drug deal and a disastrous public engagement. They were men in their 40s, living exactly as they had when they were teenagers, completely blind to the tragedy of their own existence. "Jesus Christ, sweaty fucking balls," Bubbles whispered, a profound, heartbreaking realization washing over him. He looked from Ricky to Julian, his vision blurring slightly behind his thick glasses. "You guys are fucked," Bubbles said, his voice trembling not with anger, but with overwhelming sorrow. "Both of you." He reached out and grabbed a bottle of whiskey that was sitting on the table, half empty. He thrust it toward Ricky. "Here, look out, Ricky," Bubbles said firmly. "Look out. Here, I will give you a little bit of whiskey, because I do feel bad for what happened to you today. That was fucked, but I think it is for the best. I really do." Ricky took the bottle, looking confused by Bubbles' sudden, intense emotion. "Thanks, buddy." Bubbles took a step back, looking at them both. He took a deep breath, the evening air filling his lungs, giving him the courage to say what he had avoided saying for years. "Boys, I gotta fucking get something off my chest here that has been building." Bubbles began, his voice steadying, gaining strength with every word. "It has been building, and I cannot take it anymore." Julian and Ricky fell silent, sensing the unprecedented gravity in Bubbles' tone. "Okay, listen," Bubbles said, his eyes meeting theirs, forcing them to look at him. "I will start off by saying I love you guys. Okay? I always have and I always will." "Love you too, buddy," Ricky muttered softly. "Yeah, me too," Julian added, looking slightly uncomfortable. "What the fuck is up?" "Just shut the fuck up," Bubbles snapped, silencing Julian instantly. "Shut your big, muscular lips and listen for once. I have got the floor." He paced slightly, the words flowing out of him like water from a broken dam. "Now, this might sting a bit, boys, but it needs to be said. Have you guys looked in the fucking mirror lately?" He pointed a finger at Ricky, then at Julian. "Have you really looked in the mirror? Like went right up close and looked at yourself in the mirror?" "No, I have not," Ricky mumbled, looking down at his worn-out shoes. "I do not like getting too close to the mirror. They fucking get scared of me, and I feel like they are gonna suck me right in or something." Bubbles ignored the bizarre comment, pressing on with relentless honesty. "Well, you should do it, Ricky, because it is fucking time to grow up, especially you two, because we are getting fucking old, boys."